Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Conversations with the Soul. I'm Rita Hickman, and I'm owner of Inspire Massage and Inside, a holistic and cultural arts center in the Chicagoland area. Good morning, Kathy. How nice to see you. And I'm also a body-mind expert and shiatsu massage therapist. So, this week we're going to be talking about energy. It was a request from someone who was on. Good morning, Brenda. About talking. Good morning, Maureen. Hopefully we'll have a lot of great visitors today. And Aries is here too. Awesome. Okay. So we are talking about energy. It was a request from someone last week about, good morning, Ro, about how, just the general topic. And I've always found that, good morning, Martin, I've always found that in regards to energy, I have a little bit different point of view than a lot of metaphysical people that I know, than a lot of energy workers and healers that I associate with, especially in the Chicagoland area. And part of the reason is because what I do is based in Asian medicine. So let me give you an Asian medicine perspective of what energy is. Energy, according to Asian medicine, from Melbourne, how wonderful. Energy, according to Asian medicine, is everything. Everything is energy. There is no, I'm giving off this energy, I'm giving off that energy. The carpet is energy, the floor is energy, the light is energy, color is energy, emotion is energy, a thought is energy, the brain is energy, relationships are energy. Everything that could possibly exist is energy. So if we look at it that way, energy is all around us. It's not something that we're necessarily channeling. It's something that we have. It's not something that we have to grow. It's something that we have to tap into. You know what I mean? It's something that we have to recognize we already have around us and use it to our best interests. You know, the reason that people have a hard time with energy is because they aren't connected to, they've cut off the flow of energy that they already have that's everywhere because they're part of everything. So one of the things that I loved about the topic of energy when I work in body work is that because energy is everything, that means everything literally is connected, you know, on some level, wavelengths, and they entrain to each other. And they, in Asian medicine, they fit into 5 different categories. Funny. Thanks, Martin. So they fit into 5 different categories, according, as I said, to Asian medicine. There's wood, there's fire, there's earth, there's metal, and there's water. Now, you would think that you could say, aha, this is wood, this is, you know, this fits into this box, the color red must fit into this box, and the color yellow must fit into that box. And that's not really how it works. It's about how everything is interconnected. It's about relationships. So let's say this color that I'm wearing today is blue, you know. I determine what type of energy it is based on its relationship to something else, based on the comparison almost of the two. So, you know, compared to my skin, the blue would be, let's say, my skin would be earth more than likely, and blue would probably be fire because it's a brighter, more vibrant color. So it would be in a different category. But if I compared it to my hair, then my hair would be, you know, something different, and the blue would fit probably into spring, a different category. Good morning, Mandy. So when you think of energy, you can't think of So, sorry, I just had a pause in my broadcast. My Wi-Fi must have not been so great. So when you think of energy, it has to be in relationship to something else. It has to be not put in a specific box. You have to say, in comparison to this, it's this over here. So that's where yin and yang comes in. Yin is the feminine, softer, lighter more emotional piece of something, and yang is the more linear, logical. I seem to be having wireless connection problems today. Sorry about that, everybody. Good morning, Mary. So something can be yin in one relationship and yang in another. So let's say male and female, boy, girl, woman, man. So a woman would be yin, but a man would be yang. But wait a second. What if you have two women? Well, one of the women would be yin and the other of the women would be yang. Oh, how interesting. Well, what if you have two very yin sort of women, two very feminine sort of women? One of them would be more yin and one of them would be more yang. Are you following me with this? So everything is in relationship to something else. So one of the neat things about this interconnectedness is when you think of this one thing, let's say the color red. Good morning, Eva. When you think of the color red, good morning, Helen, isn't just something on paper that you see. It isn't flat. It's got depth. And one of my favorite examples is a line. So let's say you draw a line on a piece of paper. It's flat. It has no depth. It doesn't have a lot to it. But if you take a piece of string and put the line on the ground, that line now has depth and texture and a smell and an emotion associated with it and a memory associated with it and an idea and a belief associated with it. So the line is not just one thing. It's not just the color red. The color red is also an emotion. The color red is also a belief. It's also an idea. It's also something physical. It's skin. It's a sensation in your body. So when we talk about something, we have to look at how it's almost 3D. It's not one specific thing. It's got all of the red is so much bigger than just the color red. And energy is so much bigger than just thinking, oh, it's a wavelength that's coming off of me. So I know I'm tying a lot of weird stuff together today. So when you think of energy, you want to think of depth and you want to think of interrelationships. You want to think about how everything is related to something else. Kind of like the butterfly effect you've heard, where there's a butterfly, and if it flaps its wings, does it create a hurricane on the other side of the earth? Yes, because there's an association, a connectivity. And then let's say the butterfly would be yin and the hurricane would be yang. So when you look at something, it can be categorized in so many different ways. And Asian medicine gives a really great format to do that, to get some sense of what's going on. And when they look at it, they look at energy as the color red is affecting you mentally, and the color red is being affected by something going on emotionally. So it's not just in relationship, it's also in relationship to multiple things. So you wouldn't just say, what's the relationship of a man and a woman? You'd say, what's the relationship of the man and the woman and his mother and his sister and his father and the guy down the street and the person at the grocery store? It's a community. So your mind should start be thinking of energy no longer as just something that's a wavelength, but as something that is part of this interconnected web. So let me put it in practical terms, now that I've been all wiggy and metaphysical and weird. In practical terms, let's talk about anxiety versus worry. Worry is an aspect of anxiety, and anxiety is an aspect of worry. And they're both aspects of a belief. And they're also aspects of a felt sense that you have, something that you might feel in your body, in your heart, in your skin, in your head, in your hair, whatever, in your toe. It's a felt sense. So start thinking of not just someone's energy, but start thinking of their energy in relationship to you. This happens all the time in interpersonal relationships with each other. You know, we read somebody's energy, but in order to us, you know, according to us, it means XYZ. So that's true, that's real. In relationship to us, their energy is this. But for that person, their energy might mean something else to them. It might mean that they're happy. It might mean that they're confused. But to us, it might mean that they're angry or that they're frustrated. So when you start thinking about energy, I want you to start pushing the envelope and thinking outside the box. So when you look at the carpet, you might want to say to yourself, okay, not only is this a carpet, but what would be the belief associated with it? Good morning, Jeanette. What would be the belief associated with the carpet? Maybe that warmth or comfort or luxury or softness or dirty or whatever. When you think of, then you might think of what's the emotion associated with it. The emotion for you might be happy, sad, frustrated, irritated, needs to be cleaned, work that has to be done. Still looking at the carpet, you might say the carpet for me, my carpet here is a yellowish tan color. Then you might say, what is the felt sense of the carpet? The felt sense is soft. The felt sense is bouncy. The felt sense is a little grainy underneath my hands. So, but to someone else coming in, good morning, Cheryl, the felt sense might be something different. To them, it's once again, in comparison, in relationship, it evokes many different things. So, you know, when people come in and they start telling you exactly what energy is and exactly what energy means, and that they're super confident about it, and this is what it is, you need to start questioning that, because you need to start looking at the big picture. We have to get out of our heads of that energy is something that we have a handle on. It really isn't. It's totally dependent on the relationship we're having with it and the relationship it's having with other things in our environment. They did this interesting research project that I read about, and it was about how when people are happy and they grade papers, they tend to grade papers a few points higher than when they're unhappy. And if you ask them, they'd say, no, I was very, logical and linear and everybody gets the same thing. But our world, our life is very subjective. It all depends upon not just the mood we're in, but the belief that we have, but the clothes that we're wearing, the people that we saw today, whether we ate last night, whether our toe hurts. All of that is associated and interconnected. So the neat thing about Asian medicine is it believes then that you can affect, let's say, the body through the mind, or you can affect the mind through the emotions, that you can affect let's say, the body through color, or through scent, or through a lamp, feng shui. So they believe that you can access thoughts, feelings, ideas, beliefs, physicality, heart problems, digestive problems, skin problems, all of that through many of these different avenues. Because remember, that string on the ground, that line isn't just a line. It's so much more, and it's in relationship to it, almost kind of like MacGyver-ish, He's able to look at all the different, he's able to look at the string on the ground and think of 40 different things that he can do with it and what it all means. Now, all of this can be a real brain pretzeling. It can really send you off the deep end if you let yourself. But to simplify it, think about it as in, what is this energy to me right now, and what is affecting this energy? So if you ever want to change energy, here's my quick hack. Change something else. If you want to change an aspect, let's say if you're worrying, you can stop worrying by changing something in your body, maybe by eating something different. Let's say you've got stomach problems, and this is an easy one. If you've got stomach problems, you can change your stomach problems by the thoughts that you think, or the emotions that you choose. You can heal your body through the emotion of love. You can cause great physical damage to someone else through the idea or belief of disrespect. You know, it's 3D. It's no longer this or this or this or this, and this is the way that it is, whether you like it or not. It's, wait, let's stop, let's question this, let's look outside of our box, and let's see this as a very big picture. So this whole week's going to be about energy, so make sure you put questions, thoughts, ideas in the comment section. Let me know, and I'll address those specific topics on where it fits in to the matrix, let's say, of energy and the relationship of energy from one to the other, because there's all these great ways to affect your energy, other people's energy, to detect energy. You know, many times in my body work, I can tell what somebody is feeling by paying attention to the pulse that I feel underneath my fingertips. It will tell me what they're feeling. It will tell me what they're thinking. You know, so if you ever had those weird ideas or things have come into your head and you said, I'm not reading somebody else's mind. I know I'm not. I'm not reading what's going on with them. How could I possibly? You are, because it's an inner relationship. And then the question you then have to ask is, when we talked about intuition last week, what do I feel? What do I sense? What do I recognize? And now let's self-reflect on it. So you can control, manage, influence, push the envelope of energy through so many different avenues. And that's what I want to teach people this next week. All the different avenues that you can use to change energy and move energy in the direction you want it to go, so that you can create the things that you want to create. So I'm going to end today with a question. Ask yourself, what is one thing that's outside the box that you might not have thought of that can evoke a positive change in your life today or by tomorrow morning? If it is, let's say you've got stomach problems, why don't you think about trying a quick and easy meditation that I use? Oh, good. I'm so glad, Kathy. One of my quick hacks is when I need to deal with my stomach problems, I recite the alphabet in my head. It's a weird hack, but what it is when I hear myself in my head saying the alphabet, and then I'll also write it in my head. You know, I'll see the, good morning, Sharon. I'll also see, you know, almost like in my mind, I'm writing the letter. So in my mind, I'm writing the letter, I'm reciting the letter, and I'm going through the whole alphabet in a pattern. That is one hack that I use to deal with any stomach problems that I have. That's the sort of thing that I'm talking about. We do not have to be locked or stuck in just one avenue. The physical does not have to be resolved by the physical. The mental doesn't have to be resolved by the mental. And in fact, it's a lot easier if you use one of the other avenues. You know, if you need to deal with relationship problems, a good place to start is looking at your diet. This is what I'm talking about. So it's so much easier to come at an issue from like the back door, from a different avenue, than it is to try to push through it head on. And I hope that you'll be able to start seeing energy in that 3D sort of way, and that it's all interconnected and it's all interrelationship. So if you change one element of the relationship, of that 3D relationship, change just one thing, you can change everything else. It's pretty cool stuff. And that's how I, with body work, help people deal with trauma or past emotions or beliefs that they have or relationship issues. I can do it through just holding a point on them, by sometimes just resting my hands on them. Those sorts of things can be resolved. And I want to help teach you guys on how you can resolve those things in your life as well. So hopefully you've pushed the envelope today about what you think about energy. It's not simple and it's always changing, but there is a strategy. You know, there is a way to start really using energy to a much bigger potential than you have been in the past. So if you'd like help with any sort of issue, relationship, trauma, health, emotion, frustration, depression, whatever it may be, and if you've tried all sorts of other things, you've tried physical therapy, I work a lot with women with pain, you've tried, emotional therapy or counseling, and things haven't worked, it's probably because the other facets haven't been worked on. You haven't worked on multiple facets of that diamond, let's say, of the issue that you're working through. So give me a call, text me, and otherwise I will see you tomorrow. And I haven't decided what the topic will be, but if you give me a good topic in the comments, then I'll pick one, and that's what we'll focus on. So I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'm excited about the rest of my day, and I enjoyed talking to you. See you tomorrow about 8:15 CST. Okay, bye.